Hello, welcome back to another episode of What's Flowering Inside My Indoor Garden. I don't have many flowers for you today because I lost some of my filming, some of my orchids. They faded and I didn't have any footage of it. I'm sorry, but I do have some beautiful flowers for you today. And I'm starting with my Dendrobium Sanuk. This one is what I imagine to be the polar fire. I bought it in a local flower shop very close to my house. I have a whole video about Dendrobium Sanuk that I will link for you down below, where I explain about its care. But today I'm only showing you the flowers. They are beautiful. They are a mix of white and purple. They don't have any fragrance. And for me, the most amazing part about Dendrobium's Phalaenopsis is that they are pretty tough and easy to care plant. Talking about new orchids, I have here another beauty that I found in my local supermarket this time. It's an OID Phalaenopsis that has wax petals and also super fragrant flowers. This one is not a tiny one, it's a large one. The leaves are pretty large, but the main feature is definitely the flowers. I love the color combo, I love the contrast of these flowers and also the fragrance. Probably is one of these new hybrids that were created. Maybe you can find it locally where you live as well. Talking about Phalaenopsis, I'm gonna talk about my queen. I was hoping for this to bloom, so that's the second flower of this plant this season. I love Phalaenopsis Bellina. It is a species. It has the most amazing fragrance that you can find, I think. It's fruity, fresh. It's the kind of fragrance that I like. I'm not really into fragrant flowers because I can get really sick with them, but the Bellina is one of the top one. I can't stand the Bellina. I love the Bellina so much. I think if you don't have one, it would be an amazing addition to your collection. I love the color, I love the fragrance, and the flower spike is very short, different from the other Phalaenopsis. But the other flower were more beautiful. I filmed and I lost the footage. So this is the new flowering. It's a little bit wonky, but I had to show to you because I think they are beautiful. Now I will show you the highlight of my month. The next two flowers, for me, they were the highlight of these 2 months. One is my Aeranges articulata. I've never seen an Aeranges in flowers before. That's the first time. The flowers has a star shape. They are fragrant at night time. And I think they are so elegant, so beautiful. And these Aeranges is not so tiny. It's a larger one. The flowers are not so tiny either. They are larger, and I remember looking at the buds. I was counting the days for this plant to open, so it made my month. I was so happy when I saw the first flowers, but I don't like the fragrance. I think it's only at night time. It's the kind of fragrance that for me is too sweet and too powerful for my liking, but I'm sure there are people that love it. I asked different people at my house, and people had different tastes. Some people said, oh, I really like it. Other people say, oh, that's strange. So don't go with myself. If you love fragrance, maybe you will love that. But I love the flowers, and they are fading already. They last only for 2 weeks. So it's a short period of blooming, but nonetheless, they are gorgeous. And the second highlight is these beautiful red flowers here. I don't know the ID. It's one of these intergenerics. And last year the blooms were okay. This year, oh my gosh, it produced so many flowers, and the flowers are so large. I love this tone of red as well, so I was impressed with this plant. It was in bloom for a month, but I lost the footage, so you're seeing what I filmed with my phone. But anyway, you can have an idea how beautiful this plant was looking, and it's one of my favorite orchids for sure. I love this tone of red. Talking about intergenerics, now I'm showing you this star-shaped cream yellow and white with a red lip. It's Alicia, I think, Bellina. I don't have the ID. I love this type of intergenerics because they have these star-shaped flowers. Usually the flowers are very large and they are beautiful. They are fragrant though. I don't like their fragrance. It's very similar to brassias. For me, they are too strong as well. But there are people that like it. Anyway, unfortunately, I couldn't film it in full bloom because I'm away. Probably when you were watching this film, I am away already. So that's are the plants that I could film before I left. And this plant was open its buds, so I couldn't see it in full bloom. Unfortunately, because it had 3 flower spikes, 3 or 4. This plant is a very reliable bloomer. It blooms a lot, and as you can see, it is giving me an amazing show, but maybe I still have some blooms when I'm back and I can film it more for you. And the last plant of these short what's flowering in my indoor garden, it's my Zygopetalum Rosy Blue. Again, another reliable bloomer. That's the second time this plant is blooming for me this year. I do have a video about Zygopetalums, I will link for you down below, that I filmed when it was in bloom last time. This plant for me doesn't give me any headaches. The only headache that I have with it is the size. It's a super large plant, but it blooms multiple times a year. It has this combination, these different leaves that Zygopetalums usually they have, and also I think the flowers are very exotic, wild. I like them very much. The only downside of this plant is they are very large, so they don't fit everywhere. It's almost not fitting where it's located, and I don't have another space for it. It's a massive plant, but the flowers are beautiful and they are very easy to care for. But again, they have a super powerful fragrance that's very strong. It's not for my liking, but maybe some people enjoy it as well. And that was it today. As I mentioned, the video would be a little bit shorter this time because I lost some of the blooming, I lost some of the recordings that I've made the end of July, so I don't have everything in here. And also I have lots of plants with spikes at the moment, mainly intergenerics oncidiums. I don't know if I will see them in bloom because I'm back in the end of September. I don't know when you are, sorry, mid of September. I don't know when we are watching it, but hopefully next month I'll have a beautiful bloom display for you. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye bye!